Slimehouse TV, myself Theo Kane, and welcome to a brand new episode of All Figured Art. Today, as always, this episode is sponsored by Floston Paradise, and in this episode, we're going to be looking at some brand new Super7 ReAction figures. In the previous episode, the one that we dropped last week, I had a look at the brand new Wave 2 Planet of the Apes series, like all of them, and talk shit for like 20 minutes about how much I love the Planet of the Apes movies. So if you've not seen that one, go back and look at the upload before this and check that out. And today, we're going to be looking at these. Well, we're going to be looking at a range of figures, but the first one we're looking at is this bad boy, the fucking Slayer Show No Mercy Minotaur. So a really cool thing that Super7 have been doing and then just announced at this recently at recent events is that they're going to be doing characters off metal and rock album covers. So we had the Misfits figures, it started with that, and we had a whole range of Misfits. How many is there now? There's some up on my shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about like 6 or 7 different recolors of Misfits that they've done, all for the different albums. And I love them. We're going to do a whole video talking about all them. It's probably going to be the next one that we upload because I need to get that done. Just looking at all the different variations of the Misfits from the first release to the new ones. And they're kind of like that Andy Warhol thing, the soup can, where you have like the same one but painted ever so slightly different, like the repetition. It's a big thing in art. People are really into it, and I, for one, love a good fucking repaint. But that's not what we're looking at today. We're looking at the Slayer Show No Mercy Minotaur. I hope there's no glare on that, and I hope you can see it. I am experimenting with a new camera and a new setup and having me standing up rather than sat down, so hopefully it's looking alright. But what they're doing is they're releasing the characters off the front of album covers. So back in like the 70s, 80s, not every major rock band or metal band or punk band, but a lot of them had like a significant character. So they started with the Misfits toys, then they released the Iron Maiden Eddie series, and Iron Maiden are another one that have like a distinct character on the front, the Skull Guy Eddie, like the zombie reanimated fucking monster. We talked all about that because again we did a whole episode on the Eddie series. And when I did that, I talked about how these bands like Motorhead and Guns N' Roses and stuff, all or maybe not Guns N'... Yeah, Guns N' Roses did have skulls on the cover, but they didn't have like a distinct character. But we talked about how... Well, I talked to a fucking camera about how albums have like... Back then, they used to have like distinct characters on the cover of them. And Slayer was one of those. And they've also released... Well, they're releasing the skull from Megadeth with the sunglasses. They're releasing the Ozzy Osbourne Wolf. They're releasing the Motorhead fucking like metal... What is that? Like a bull? Like a skull hell lion metal head bull thing? I used to look at them album covers when I was little and just buzz off that artwork. So it's really fucking cool that they're releasing like a whole new series of these now. And the first one that they put out from the new ones is this guy, the Minotaur from the Show No Mercy Slayer album cover. So there's a lot of things I really like about this. First of all, as always, it's in that 3.75 style where you've got the Kenner Star Wars style figures. All those 80s figures, late 70s through to the 80s figures, Indiana Jones, Tron, all them Kenner Star Wars style figures. We've spoke about them loads and loads and loads on here. Clash of the Titans, Buck Rogers, all that. Or maybe not Buck Rogers. I can't remember Buck Rogers. Did that have one? I know that Battlestar Galactica had some sick ones because I've got a couple on this shelf of the aliens. But in that 3.75 style Kenner Star Wars, very simple, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of articulation. And Super7 have just been releasing reaction figures for a few years now, but in more recent times, like really high-end ones now, really fucking good ones with sick ideas. And this is another one in that series. So he's got the normal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of articulation. What makes this one special is not the vinyl cape, because that's fucking cool. We talked about that when we reviewed the Lucha figures and stuff. That's like a signature fucking trademark of Kenner. And we've said this before, even the ReAction logo a lot of the times is painted like the old Kenner Star Wars style logo. So that's not distinct to this figure by any means. But what's really cool about this, not only has it got a fucking bull head, and I love Minotaurs. Ever since I was a little kid, I always loved Minotaurs. I love anything that's like anthropomorphic, where it's like half human, half animal. I always thought that was fucking awesome, like taking it a next level from the Wolfman, like all the fucking shocker villains that came in Rider battles and stuff like that. But I love like a human with a fucking animal head. I love King from Tekken and all them, which we'll talk about because the new Worst series have released a guy, something like Red Tiger or something. He's called Tiger Red, and he's got like a tiger's head, like tiger mask from wrestling and lucha and shit. So and Japanese wrestling. So we'll talk about them when we get Wave 2 of the Worst. But so already I love that. But he's got a little transparent flame. I don't know if you can see through the lighting, but the flame on the top of his head, he's got like a Hellboy like flaming ball of fire, and that's translucent, not transparent. Transparent would mean that you can see straight through it. Translucent is when you can, it's like glass, like perspex plastic. So yeah, that's fucking cool. And then he's got like a little sword. If you look at this sword, it's got like eagle's legs. That's like something that's like really big in like architecture and design and like fire guards and stuff. The eagle holding like the ball or something like that. So he's got eagle claws on his sword and he's got a little sword there as well. So that's a really fucking cool figure, man. And again, I like the fact that they're taking the artwork from an old metal album cover and then like reimagining it as a toy. But it's still very faithful to this album cover. And because it's in that kind of Star Wars style, it just looks like it's been put in a time capsule, buried for fucking 30-40 years, and then we've just dug it up today and we found it. So another really fucking cool one. The next ones we're looking at are just jumping away from the 3.75 for a minute, are these fucking bad boys. Now anyone that watches this show or that knows me in real life knows how much I fucking love muscle figures. Muscle figures are the shit. When you were little, you used to get these little figures. They were called Muscle. They're big in Japan. I've been to the Muscle store in Japan and you can still buy them at gachapon machines all over fucking Tokyo. They love muscle figures. And then what Super7 have been doing is getting the license for Muscle and then releasing loads of like little crazy fucking loads of crazy licenses, but in the Muscle style. Oh my god, they've just released the images, not the actual toys they're not out yet, but they just released the pictures of the Toxic fucking Crusaders, the Toxic Crusaders Trauma full gang in a little trash can. Oh my god, in neon fucking colours. Toxic Avengers, one of my favourite things of all time. I fucking love Toxic Crusaders. I cannot wait to get hold of them. I said to Nick at Floston, brother, the second that they drop, save me a pack. I need that shit in my life. So we're going to be looking at them, no doubt, very soon when they come through, because I will fucking run through walls to make sure that I get them fucking figures. So today we're looking at these ones, not the Toxic Crusaders, but we did an episode before talking about the Lucha ones that they released, the Legends of Lucha Libre. They've done some really cool Aliens ones. What else have they done? Oh, He-Man, there's a whole range of He-Man Masters of the Universe ones. I've got a few of them, but not them all. We did the blind box ones. They've done the sick Transformers ones, the Keshi Surprise that are like a muscle figure, and then now they've done Iron Maiden. So again, we were talking about Eddie. The theme today is red and black. You'll see why. It's like a red and black themed episode. So they've released these, and they're the same in both packs, but you've got the red ones and the black ones, and of course I needed to have both versions. And you've got two different versions of Eddie on the front cover, and they're always drawn in the same style as the Muscle figures on the old Muscle cards. They used to have the figure like that, drawn on the front, jumping, like, because they're wrestlers, innit? Muscle, Ultimate Muscle are wrestlers. So, millions of unusual small creatures lurking everywhere. That's what it stands for. And you've got three different versions. So, we've got... the three of the ones that we talked about. Oh no, this one's not. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself because just like my brain just works crazy when I'm talking about toys. So when they released the little 3.75 figures, there was 4 different versions, or maybe 5. I think there might be 4 or 5. I can't remember. But he wasn't there. The Eddie in the straitjacket, I swear. And we talked about how when I was little, I got so upset when I watched Iron Maiden live and they ripped Eddie's brains out of his head on stage. Oh my god, that fucking traumatized me as a kid. I love monsters and zombies and shit, and I seen one die, like get ripped apart on telly. Like I was used to seeing zombies get ripped apart through Dawn of the Dead and shit like that and Day of the Dead, but not Eddie. Eddie was cool. I liked Eddie, so yeah. Fucking crazy memories as a child. So they're also really fucking cool, available from Flossed in Paradise now. There's 2 in the series, the red and the black. Obviously, I needed to have both because I love the colour variants and I'm just a sucker for muscle figures. So they're also available at Flossed in Paradise. And then the last one is by far my favourite. So Super7 did something called the Halloween series. I'm just looking again to make sure that's what it was definitely called. The Halloween series. And in that, they released the I think, was it the first Misfits figure? No, they released a few, but one of them was King Diamond that we reviewed before, and then one of them was Nosferatu, which is fucking awesome. I love Nosferatu, the original bad boy vampire. Right there, I've not got that figure. I need to get hold of that figure, but the Nosferatu figure was part of the Halloween series. And then they also released an Alfred Hitchcock. There's been a couple of versions, I think, but not this one. This is the brand new one. So I think there was one that was just Hitchcock as normal, one that was Hitchcock in black and white, like the old, like you were watching Psycho. Which we can talk about in a minute because I fucking love that. Fucking love that movie. And then this brand new one that's covered in blood, which is funny because if it's referring to Psycho, it wasn't actually blood that they used in that movie. It was like chocolate syrup or something like that because it was shot in black and white. They used chocolate syrup and as blood, so that's a nice little fun fact there. But this is fucking awesome. To get a figure of Alfred Hitchcock, come on. He's one of my favourite directors of all time. If you ever watch an interview with... Forget his movies for a second. Even if you watch an interview with Alfred Hitchcock, You look how he answers questions. He's a fucking on-point guy. He's a next-level clever guy. You ask him a question, and it's as if he's paused time and then took an hour, half an hour to write down the perfect answer, and then he's memorized it, and then he's pressed play on time and answered it back. He just speaks like a fucking poet. He's so fucking clever. His use of words and language is so good, man. I fucking love Alfred Hitchcock. He was a fucking crazy guy. He was a weird guy, but all the best people are. Genius and madness are very fucking close together. And this guy, if you watch the movies about him, there's like a couple of different films about him and stuff, documentaries and all that. And this is really cool. He comes with his stogie. It's not a separate piece. It's actually fitted in his hand. His cigar, because he always had a fucking cigar, and then a bird. So you've got the bird there. Now, my two favourite Hitchcock films, and there's so many good ones, are definitely Psycho and The Bird. So to have the blood on him, like it's referring to Psycho, and we've got the slash down there, which makes me think it's referring to Psycho, because that's like what the writing of the title text is like. And then you've got the bird on his shoulder. So fucking cool. It's probably by Ed Repka again, the artwork, yeah. Artwork by Ed Repka, such a fucking legendary artist out here, and he's been doing loads of these covers, which I just love. I can't get enough of them. One of the reasons we never open these figures is because I love the Ed Repka artwork so much. The artwork on these cards is just bad boy. I love the art, and then you've got the figure. It just makes it like a whole little complete package. Oh, I hope you can see them on camera, and I'm not cutting off. A whole little complete package, like a cool unit to have on your wall and hang up. So, very fucking cool, man. The fact that he comes with his cigar and a bird and he's covered in blood, which the other one wasn't, is really fucking awesome. Oh, they're the other ones. So the Halloween series, I think King Diamond was part of the Halloween series, but he's not on the back. But Nosferatu, like I said, and then one of the first Misfits figures, the red one. So these are all available now from Lost in Paradise. I think I've blasted through these reviews. Obviously, I've got so much to review. There's so much coming out, and we've got so much going on at Slimehouse TV. So forgive me if I'm fucking talking too quick, but that's just something that I have a problem with in real life. I talk like a fucking machine. So, just a quick review. We've got this guy again, Alfred Hitchcock. We've also got the red and black Muscle Iron Maiden. And then the first thing we looked at was the Slayer Show No Mercy Minotaur. And if you look at them all, they're all like black and red. That's why I call it like a black and red episode. They're all available over at fpcollectibles.com. Lost in Paradise. This is a website I've been buying from for lots of years now. These are the coolest toy company in England because they get all the mad American exclusives from America, obviously, and then all over the world, and they bring them over to here to England so that you can get them without having to pay any service. Without having to pay any service charges. The first time I ever saw them was at a toy fair, and I looked, and I'm a vintage toy collector. I only collect vintage toys, so usually I just walk past all the new toys. But then I saw these, and I was like, "Raw, these look fucking sick." And I saw the display at the stall, which now is like 4 times the size of when I saw it, but they had all the muscle figures and the Super7 and stuff all laid out, and they all just look fucking awesome, and I was like, why have I never seen these toys before? Because I don't check for new toys online, like, I don't check for new toys, I'm a vintage collector, but then I saw all these, and I'm like, wow, why have I never seen these? And they're like, yeah, they're American exclusives, and even in America, they're fucking rare to get. They don't just have them in the like, we're going to say the Forbidden Planet, but they don't just have them in the comics and toy shops over in America. Like, these are sold out online within fucking hours, within days, they all get sold out. So this stuff I've showed you might even have been sold out now on fpcollectibles.com. You've got to get on them on the Facebook, on the Instagram, and on the Facebook and Instagram. So yeah, man, make sure you check them out. Have a look for all the brand new stuff that's dropping all the time. Don't miss out. And yeah, if you buy anything, let them know that Slimehouse sent you. I'm Theo Kane, this is Slimehouse TV. You've been watching All Figured Out, and we'll catch you in the next episode, but for now, we're gone. Boom! As always, thank you so much for checking out the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We're also on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And on top of all that, we recently set up a Patreon, so please check that out and find out how you can help us make Slimehouse bigger and better than ever. Don't forget to check out all the other cool stuff on our channel, and we'll catch you next time on Slimehouse TV.